Mr. Trump brings up the attack tonight.
I do. I think he if you judge by prior performances, he'll bring up everything that's relevant, right?
Right, absolutely.
And give us his perspective on it. That's one of the great things about him. You know, I think when history looks back on all this, he's going to probably be the most transparent president we ever had. He certainly tells you everything he thinks. He probably had more press conferences than anyone. So I think we're going to get his opinion on that and on...
On a slew of other things. I'm sure he's going to be quite talkative tonight. Mr.
Trump lied more than 30,000 times during his presidency. And you talking about he the most transparent ever? Donald Trump is the first former president to have his house raided by the FBI. You think transparency landed him there, huh? Donald was so transparent to his followers about the coronavirus, he had them drinking bleach and looking the sun directly into his eyes. Not only did this man and his team lie about the nature of the outbreak, this man lied about the pandemic being under control, and here we are 2 years later, and we on variant 3 or something like that? After watching that Rudy Giuliani interview, I had to ask myself, what type of drugs is this man really on? America has had presidents that were slave masters and colonizers that was more transparent than Donald Trump. Trump can't even be transparent about the election results in his deception, but Rudy Giuliani gonna holler, when the history books look back on all this, Trump's probably the most transparent president we ever had. Hell. Trump wasn't able to be transparent about denouncing the KKK or white supremacy. Research over me search, we can acknowledge that all politicians lie. However, I think it's funny. Forbes did this article where they asked the question, who lied more during their first 100 days? Biden, Trump, or Obama? Data showed in his first 100 days, President Trump had 29 statements assessed by PolyFact, 17 of them false, compared to 12 statements of President Obama, 1 false, and 4 statements from President Biden, 2 false. As a raw count, Trump told more falsehoods than Obama and Biden combined. But it's deeper than lying and transparency though, right? A lot of conservatives, they have a particular word for something when they say you create a situation to be a victim out of it. They call it victimization, victim mentality, I think. Yeah, Trump is full of that. He once claimed that perhaps Brian Kemp and the Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger was in collusion with the radical left Democrats attempting to unseat his homie. That was a lie. Now, regardless of whatever you would define transparency as, we all can acknowledge that faking and fabricating and lying about things is not being transparent, right? This man claimed that Hillary Clinton was spying on his presidency, actively operating in victim mentality, and then you gonna claim he being transparent. At the same time, y'all be saying y'all against victim mentality. Some people would argue that Donald Trump is the most deceptive president that we've had. But you know, you got some folks that's lost in the sauce. Donald Trump ain't got a transparent bone in his body. Perhaps that's why so much controversy always surrounds this man. These Trumpites and maggots gonna have a hard time explaining to their grandchildren and great-grandchildren why they was on the wrong side of history, and that's on transparency.